So for many years now, when I was a child, I learned in Montreal for 3 years. This is my chinuch. I lived by my Zayda, by Handel Olav Shalom, and spent time by all my uncles and relatives. So for many years, all my relatives want me to come farbring in Montreal. But I live in Ukraine, so it's difficult to come to Montreal. I don't come here. So they got in touch with Putin, sent our bombs, and I had to come, and now I have to farbring, right? So their Maisa, the same story is when they called me from the American embassy about a week before the war. They called and they said that the Russian army is piling up on the border, and as an American citizen we have to warn you that they could come in at any time, and if they come in, then we're not going to come to get you. You have time now to get out. Get out. They messed up in Afghanistan. That they didn't say. Das habe ich verstanden. They didn't want to mess up again, so they called. They called again a few days before. They sent emails the whole time. And my reaction was the same as your reaction. That I told you that I'm coming here because of the bomb. So, you're telling me that the Russian army is on the border. They've been there forever. They're flying planes over Ukraine. I see them the whole time. No? Nobody in my city was preparing for a war. Nobody was buying anything in the stores or preparing for anything. We had a shir with 25 women Wednesday evening, the night before the war. The topic of the war didn't even come up in conversation. Nobody was worried. The thought that he's going to actually come in was so far from reality. It didn't enter anybody's mind. On Wednesday night, in the middle of the night, one of my friends in Toronto, he has a Chabad house in Toronto, he asked me if I could go on a Zoom to speak to the community over there. There's a lot of people from Ukraine, Mizartzach. They want to hear from somebody on the ground. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I went on a Zoom to speak to them. And at around 4:15, I finished the Zoom call, and I finished explaining to them that the whole world is worried, but we're not worried because nothing is happening and there's no war. I didn't get to go to sleep. At 5 o'clock in the morning, the siren goes off. I didn't know that in Sumi we have an air raid siren. It's a small little shtetl. I didn't know that we have a siren. All of a sudden I hear a siren, you know, like you hear in Crown Heights before Shabbos. You get that siren. One of my kids woke up. My hi. I said, it's the shofar shel Mashiach. What else could it be? It must be the blessed shofar. Mashiach is coming. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, at least not that day. And the Russian army came marching into Ukraine. We are 30 kilometers from the border. We're mamash. It's a half-hour drive only because the road is Tishmeter. But technically, it could be like a 15-minute drive. We're mamash right on the border. The Russian army came in, and nobody was there to stop them, and nobody was there to welcome them. They just drove right in. It took them maybe a half an hour, and they were driving right through our city, right through Sumi, with a convoy of hundreds of tanks and trucks, the ganze Melucha, driving right through the city. And they drove out onto the main road to go from Sumi to Kiev, which is a 5-hour drive. Really, could be less, but the road is not the greatest. So it's a 5-hour drive. They go onto this main road. Now, by that time, by 8 o'clock in the morning, the whole city was up already, And everybody was running to the stores to buy things because you don't know what's going to be. You need to have food. Baruch Hashem for small favors of two years of COVID, that our community was already trained. We have a group of volunteers and lists of people that are at home that can't get out of their house, and people we've given, everybody has some kind of a tablet or a cell phone that we could be in touch on Zoom. So we right away got in touch with all the people that are involved and started going spread out throughout the city to go to all the stores to buy out whatever we could. Make up all kinds of food packages, go deliver it to people's houses. People should know that they're taken care of and that they have what they need. This was a whole first day on Thursday. We were basically busy from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody got a message on their phone. By 6 o'clock, curfew. Everybody needs to be in their homes, lights out.